All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we're diving deep into DeepSeek-R1.
Ooh, DeepSeek-R1.
This AI model is really making waves.
It is.
It's kind of like having GPT-4 level performance,
Wow.
but
Yeah.
without that huge price tag.
That's really amazing.
We're talking about a potential game changer here, people.
I think so, yeah.
One of the things that's really fascinating about DeepSeek-R1
Yes.
is its open source nature.
Absolutely.
So the entire model, even the code,
Yeah.
is available under the MIT license.
That's right.
Which means
Begins.
that developers and businesses,
Yeah.
they can modify it, use it,
Yeah.
even commercialize applications built on it.
Absolutely. And that's something we don't see very often
Right.
with these large language models.
Exactly.
So very cool.
So for those who haven't been following the AI scene quite as closely,
Yeah.
what exactly is DeepSeek-R1?
So DeepSeek-R1 is a 671 billion parameter mixture of experts model,
Okay.
or MoE for short. So imagine this massive network of specialized AI experts.
Uh-huh.
That's essentially what this is.
Okay.
But instead of activating all 671 billion parameters for every single task,
Right.
it only uses the most relevant ones, about 37 billion per token.
Now hold on, back up a second.
Sure.
For those of us who aren't AI engineers,
Yeah.
what exactly are parameters
Good question.
and tokens?
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
Yeah, it's easy to get lost in the jargon.
Right.
So think of parameters as the knobs and dials that control how the AI learns.
Okay.
The more parameters, the more complex the model can be.
Gotcha.
And tokens are the basic units of text that the AI processes.
Okay.
Kind of like words,
Okay.
but sometimes smaller chunks.
So with DeepSeek-R1, only the specialists needed for a specific task are activated,
Right.
which I guess keeps things nice and efficient.
Exactly. Keeps it running smoothly.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
But what makes this model truly stand out?
One word. Meta chain of thought. It's a revolutionary approach to AI reasoning.
Meta-CoT.
Yeah.
Huh.
Meta-CoT.
Sounds kind of like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Well, it might as well be.
Okay.
It's a way for the AI to mimic the way that humans solve problems.
Interesting.
So imagine you're debugging code. You might try one solution, hit a wall,
Yeah.
then backtrack and try a different approach.
Right.
That's exactly what DeepSeek-R1 can do with Meta-CoT.
That's incredible.
It is.
So it's like the AI is actually thinking things through.
Yeah.
Step by step. Just like we do as humans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not just blindly processing data. It's actually reasoning,
Yeah.
evaluating different paths,
Wow.
and making decisions based on the information that it has.
That's really cool.
It is.
So how does this Meta-CoT approach actually translate into real-world performance? Does it live up to the hype?
I would say so. The benchmark results are pretty astounding.
Okay.
So on Live Code Bench, which tests coding abilities, DeepSeek-R1 actually beats GPT-4.
Really?
And on Code Forces, it's neck and neck.
Wow.
When it comes to math, it scores amazingly well on tests like Math 500.
Okay.
And even the AME, which is a challenging high school math competition.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah,
It's tough.
it's a tough one.
So we're not just talking about theoretical potential here.
No.
This thing can actually hold its own
Yeah,
against the big players in the AI field.
absolutely.
That's awesome. But let's be real.
Okay.
Every tool has its limitations.
Yosh.
Right.
Yeah.
What are some of the drawbacks of DeepSeek-R1?
Well, one thing that's been noted is that the logs,
Okay.
basically the record of how the AI arrived at a solution,
Yeah.
can be quite verbose.
So like a lot of information.
Yeah, a bit too much information sometimes.
Okay.
And while this level of detail is great for understanding the AI's thought process,
Uh-huh.
it can make it a bit trickier to integrate
Okay.
into streamlined applications.
So that's something to consider.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another limitation is that it's not multimodal yet.
Okay.
So it excels at handling text and code,
Right.
but it can't process images or videos,
Gotcha.
which limits its application in some areas.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But even with those limitations, the potential here seems enormous.
Cute.
I mean, think about the cost savings alone.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier that it's way cheaper than OpenAI's models.
That's cheaper.
Like, how much are we talking about here?
So DeepSeek-R1 is roughly 30 times cheaper than OpenAI's top-tier model.
Wow.
And the best part is it achieves that level of affordability without sacrificing performance.
That's incredible,
I know.
especially for startups,
Yeah.
researchers.
Uh-huh.
Anyone who doesn't have a massive budget to throw at AI development,
Right.
This could really level the playing field.
It really could.
So let's talk about some real-world applications.
Sure, okay.
How are people already using DeepSeek-R1?
We're seeing some really exciting use cases emerging. There's a startup that's using R1's coding assistant to accelerate their app development, and they've already seen a 40% reduction in development time.
Wow, that's a massive time and cost saving.
It is.
What about other fields?
Yeah.
How is this technology being used in education, for example?
There are pilot programs using DeepSeek-R1 to create interactive STEM tutors.
Okay.
So these tutors can provide personalized step-by-step explanations.
Yeah.
And we're seeing significant improvements in student understanding.
Really?
In one case, high school students using these R1-powered math tools saw their scores increase by an average of 35%.
Yeah. That's amazing.
It is.
It's like having a personalized AI tutor available to every student.
Right.
I can see how this technology could revolutionize the way we learn.
Absolutely.
What about healthcare?
Yeah.
Any interesting applications there?
Definitely.
Okay.
One of the most promising areas is drug discovery. In a recent case study, DeepSeek-R1 helped identify 3 potential cancer drug candidates.
Really?
In just 2 weeks.
Wow.
That's a remarkable feat, considering how long
Yeah.
and costly traditional drug discovery processes can be.
So DeepSeek-R1 is making waves in all sorts of industries.
All over the place.
What's the overall buzz like? Are people as excited about this technology as we are?
Oh, the online community is definitely buzzing.
Okay.
The hashtag DeepSeek-R1 is trending on X.
Oh, wow.
And there are a lot of prominent tech influencers praising its potential to disrupt the AI landscape.
It's like a David versus Goliath story, isn't it?
Kind of, yeah.
This relatively small lab is challenging the AI giants with a powerful open source alternative.
And they're doing a great job.
It's a really compelling narrative.
It is.
And it speaks to the growing desire for more open and accessible AI.
Absolutely.
You know, people are tired of being reliant
Yeah.
on these closed systems and expensive APIs
Uh-huh.
of a few powerful companies.
Oh, sure.
So how does DeepSeek-R1 stack up against the competition?
Okay.
You mentioned it's significantly cheaper than OpenAI's models.
Way cheaper.
But what about performance-wise?
Yeah.
How does it compare to something like OpenAI's O1 model?
In terms of reasoning ability, it's remarkably similar to O1,
Okay.
which is impressive considering the cost difference.
Yeah, for sure.
But there are some key differences to consider.
Like what?
For example, DeepSeek-R1 currently outperforms Meta's Llama 4 model in coding and math accuracy.
Okay.
However, Llama 4 does have the advantage of multimodality, meaning it can process images and videos.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Which R1 can't do yet.
Right.
So, yeah.
So it seems like the choice of which model to use really depends on the specific application and priorities.
Exactly.
If cost is a major concern, DeepSeek-R1 is hard to beat.
It's hard to beat.
But if you need multimodality, Llama 4 might be a better choice.
Could be a better choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no one-size-fits-all solution.
Not at all.
When it comes to AI models.
Right.
The key is to understand the strengths and weaknesses of each model and choose the best tool for the job.
Absolutely.
Speaking of tools,
Yes.
how can our listeners actually get their hands on DeepSeek-R1? Where can they go to learn more and start experimenting with this technology?
So for developers who are eager to dive into the code, the full model weights and code are available on GitHub.
Okay.
You can clone the repository experiment and even contribute to its development.
That's pretty cool.
It's very cool.
All right.
There's also API access through the DeepSeek platform, which offers a free tier to get you started.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So there are options for both the tinkerers and those who want a more plug-and-play approach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for businesses and educators, DeepSeek provides guidance on choosing the right model size for their needs.
Okay.
For example, the 70 billion parameter Distilled model is well suited for cloud deployment.
Okay.
While the 7 billion parameter version is ideal for more lightweight applications like tutoring systems.
This is all incredibly exciting.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see how DeepSeek-R1 evolves.
Me too.
And what kind of amazing applications people come up with as this technology becomes more widely available.
The possibilities are endless, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be wild.
I can't wait.
So before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I think it's important to take a closer look at the cost breakdown
Right.
between DeepSeek-R1 and OpenAI's O1 model.
Yeah, let's do it.
I have a feeling our listeners will be pretty amazed by the difference.
I think they will.
So let's break down the numbers and see just how significant those cost savings really are.
All right, let's do it. So when we're talking cost, when we look at input tokens, DeepSeek-R1 charges a mere $1.55 per million tokens.
Sure.
OpenAI's O1, on the other hand,
Right.
comes in at a hefty $15 per million.
Oh, wow.
So that's a difference of 27 times.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And the story's similar for output tokens.
Right.
DeepSeek-R1 costs $2.19 per million output tokens.
Yeah.
While O1 is priced at $60 per million.
Oh, wow.
Again, a 27-fold difference.
So you're telling me if I'm processing 1 million, input and output tokens combined, I'm looking at just $2.74.
That's right.
With DeepSeek-R1 compared to a whopping $75. That's
right.
For OpenAI's O1.
Yeah, we're talking about a 96% cost reduction.
That's wild. It's crazy.
That's really incredible.
It really highlights the potential for DeepSeek-R1 to democratize access to advanced AI. So startups, researchers, even individual developers can now work with this caliber of model without needing a huge budget.
It's like the difference between buying like a high-end sports car. Okay.
And like a reliable fuel-efficient sedan.
Right.
Both can get you where you need to go.
Yeah.
But the cost of ownership is vastly different.
Absolutely. That's a great analogy.
And the cost savings go beyond just token pricing.
For sure.
The overall development cost of DeepSeek-R1 was around $6 million.
That's right.
Which is incredibly efficient compared to the hundreds of millions, if not billions, that often go into developing these large language models.
Absolutely. It makes you wonder if the traditional big tech approach to AI development is becoming unsustainable.
That's a great question.
Yeah, DeepSeek's success with R1 suggests that there are alternative paths, innovation, that are both more cost-effective and more open.
I think it's really exciting to see this shift happening.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
Let's recap the key takeaways about DeepSeek-R1 for our listeners.
Okay, so first, DeepSeek-R1 demonstrates truly remarkable performance, matching or even exceeding OpenAI's O1 in many tasks, particularly those involving complex reasoning.
It accomplishes all of this while being significantly more affordable.
Way more affordable.
Making it a potential game changer for those who've been priced out of working with cutting-edge AI.
And we can't forget the significance of its open source nature. The MIT license and the availability of distilled models empower developers to customize, experiment, and build without vendor lock-in. It fosters a collaborative and transparent approach to AI development.
I think it's safe to say that DeepSeek-R1 is more than just a new tool.
I agree.
It represents a potential turning point in the AI landscape. You know, it's a challenge to the status quo.
It is.
And a glimpse into a future where powerful AI is accessible to all.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
DeepSeek-R1 proves that innovation doesn't have to be
exclusive or exorbitantly priced. It's a testament to the power of open source and clever engineering.
Absolutely.
This has me wondering, could this be the catalyst that sparks a wave of open source AI development?
That's a good question. What are your thoughts?
I think it absolutely has that potential. You know, the combination of high performance, low cost, and an open ethos is incredibly appealing.
It is.
It offers a compelling alternative to the closed proprietary models that have dominated the AI landscape for so long.
And it aligns with the growing movement towards ethical and transparent AI. People are increasingly concerned about the concentration of power in the hands of a few large tech companies.
For sure.
And DeepSeek-R1 offers a refreshing counterpoint.
It'll be fascinating to see how the AI community responds to this development.
Absolutely. Will other labs and companies follow DeepSeek's lead?
And embrace open source. Will we see a surge in innovative applications built on R1? Only time will tell.
Only time will tell.
But it's an exciting time to be following the AI space.
Absolutely.
As more people get their hands on DeepSeek-R1 and start experimenting, I'm sure we'll see even more unexpected and groundbreaking applications emerge.
I can't wait.
Me neither.
But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I think it's important to remind our listeners that while DeepSeek-R1 has a lot to offer, it's not a magic bullet.
It's not.
Like any tool.
Right.
It has its limitations.
Yeah.
And it's crucial to choose the right tool for the job.
That's a great point.
It's not about blindly adopting the latest and greatest technology, but rather understanding its strengths and weaknesses and how it fits into the broader context of your work.
For sure.
And as with any emerging technology, it's important to approach it with a critical and informed perspective.
Right.
Don't believe the hype. Test it out for yourself. Explore the code and see if DeepSeek-R1 lives up to its promises.
Exactly.
For your specific needs.
Wise words.
Ultimately, the success of DeepSeek-R1 will depend on the community that embraces it.
Absolutely.
It's up to developers, researchers, and innovators to push the boundaries of what's possible with this open and accessible tool.
And I'm confident that the AI community will rise to the challenge.
Before we wrap up,
I'd
like to leave our listeners with a thought-provoking question to ponder.
Okay, shoot.
Could DeepSeek-R1 be the tipping point that shifts the balance of power in the AI landscape, moving away from big tech dominance towards a more open and accessible future?
That's the question on everyone's mind, isn't it?
What implications do you see this having for the future of technology and innovation?
And I think it's certainly a possibility. You know, DeepSeek-R1 has shown us that you don't need a billion-dollar budget or a massive corporation to develop truly powerful AI. This could be a real turning point, you know, empowering smaller companies, researchers, even individuals to contribute to the evolution of AI in ways we haven't seen before.
I'm already seeing so much enthusiasm and activity within the open source AI community.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, people are eager to get their hands on R1, fine-tune it for their own projects, and build entirely new applications.
It's really cool.
It feels like we could be on the verge of an explosion of creativity and innovation with solutions coming from all corners of the world.
I think so, yeah.
That'll be a much more inclusive and democratic approach to AI development, wouldn't it?
I think so.
One where the benefits of this powerful technology are shared more broadly and equitably.
Absolutely.
And this could also lead to a much faster pace of innovation.
For sure.
When you have a global community of developers collaborating and building upon each other's work, the possibilities are truly limitless.
I agree.
But, of course, it's not all smooth sailing.
Right.
There are challenges to consider with the open source model.
Sure.
It relies heavily on collaboration and community support.
Yeah.
Which can be difficult to sustain long term.
That's true. Maintaining that momentum and ensuring the long-term viability of open source projects is a constant challenge.
It's a reminder that technology is never neutral. It reflects the values and intentions of its creators.
Yeah.
And we have a responsibility to make sure AI is developed and used in a way that benefits everyone.
Absolutely. The future of AI is ultimately in our hands. It's up to us to shape it in a way that aligns with our values and aspirations for a better, more equitable world.
Well said. DeepSeek-R1 has given us a powerful tool and a glimpse of what's possible when we embrace openness, collaboration, and a commitment to democratizing access to technology. It's an incredibly exciting time to be witnessing this unfolding story.
It certainly is. I can't wait to see what the future holds and how DeepSeek-R1 continues to shape the AI landscape in the years to come.
So to our listeners, we leave you with this. DeepSeek-R1 is more than just a new AI model. It's a catalyst for change, a challenge to the status quo, and an invitation to participate in shaping the future of AI.
It is.
Explore it, experiment with it, and let's build a future where AI empowers everyone.
Until next time, keep learning, keep innovating, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And don't forget to check out the links in the show notes for more information about DeepSeek-R1 and how you can get started. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.